Breaking news this morning, Dr. Myers. I mean, I think that is one of the competitive advantages for FendX Technologies, as you set out milestones and you achieve them. And you just announced another deal here with Dunmore International Corp. Can you talk to us about the development of your REPELWRAP film with Dunmore, please?
So we're really excited about the news, Tracy, that we released this morning. We are going to engage with Dunmore for a second pilot run on their commercial manufacturing line. And this comes after having done an initial pilot run with them back in September, where they confirmed that our formulation for REPELWRAP film could be automated for commercial production. And what they were able to show was that these films repelled, as did the lab prototypes that we had with McMaster. And let me just say what this means, because to me, this is a real testament to us being able to technically be able to move this forward. When we did the licensing agreement with McMaster University, we obviously licensed the IP, but we also licensed a film, a prototype film. It was literally the size of a quarter with the nanotechnology on it. And it took essentially 24 hours to make that film. What we were able to accomplish in our first run was to automate the process, make sheets and sheets of it, thousands of feet of sheets of coated film in literally minutes. So that's what we've been able to achieve over the last 2 years. And the next step is refinement of the formulation, the processes, and we're ready to do our second pilot run with Dunmore in November.
And of course, I encourage anyone new to FendX Technologies to take a look at their news releases. You're putting out news releases on a regularly. And so in addition to this, can you tell us how FendX plans to incorporate real-world environment conditions into the testing of REPELWRAP film during this next stage of development?
Yeah, so after the second pilot run, the intention is to then go out and test our films that were created from the pilot runs in the real-world settings to look at how real-world environmental conditions affect the films. So we are going to be engaging with a couple of different partners to be able to do real-world testing in situations where it's on push doors or situations where it's exposed to the outer environment, and see how those films perform relative to the performance we've seen in the lab. And we anticipate that they will, be very stable after these conditioning tests. And if that's the case, then the next step will be to move into commercial production, which we anticipate will be early next year.
And of course, you have a very impressive professional career, Dr. Myers, and an extraordinary ability to attract world-class talent. Can you tell us a little bit about the team that you're putting together and how you're planning on pulling this off?
Good question. Well, first of all, yes, you're right. I have quite a track record in my career. I have spent most of my career in senior level positions within large cap pharma companies in New Jersey. And in my tenure have launched 25 plus different products, as well as done 50 plus M&A and licensing deals, and have been the president of 2 different pharmaceutical companies. If there's one thing I love and I do, it's to lead and grow companies and build success. And I've done it many times, and that's what we're doing here at FendX. And so I've pulled together a team. Andrea Mulder is my COO, who is my partner in crime here, who together, she's the operator, I'm the visionary strategist and the leader. Together, we work synergistically to move our projects forward. She herself has launched over 10 products in Canada, and has a very, very strong track record on the commercial side. And together we work synergistically. And just by virtue of the fact that we have both launched so many products and have prepared markets for these products and have been successful, we're going to do the same thing with our products as we move forward and commercialize them. Our lead product is REPELWRAP film. We just talked about that. And once we get into commercial production and ultimately to a commercial product, we will then introduce it first into the Canadian market through distributors. And we will prepare or prime the market. We'll build the awareness. We'll do everything that is necessary to be done so that the market quickly adopts our product for utilization within their settings. Again, we've done it many times. We know what we're doing. We've worked in many of the markets we're planning to go to when the product is ready for commercialization. Well, healthcare is one of them. Both of us have very strong track records on that front, and we literally just know what to do because we've done it so many times. So we're really excited as to where we are and potentially where we're going.
Well, I have taken the time and looked at the background of management. Very impressive. You are achieving milestones regularly. I tell investors all the time, pay attention. Do they say, do they commit and achieve the goals they say they're going to achieve? So what should we as shareholders anticipate, say, in the next upcoming quarter?
So the first thing is we're going to do our second pilot run with Dunmore, as we've talked about. So stay tuned. There'll be news on that in the next few weeks. And following that, after we complete that run, we'll be announcing who we will do our pilot testing, our beta testing with to test real world environmental conditions. And in addition to that, we recently, on October the 26th, signed a master services agreement with a nanoparticles expert R&D and manufacturing company to transfer our formulation for our spray product for them to adapt the formula to their manufacturing processes to then go and do some pilot run scale ups to make larger batches of our spray. So we're following the same track that we did with REPELWRAP film with our spray. And the next step is to transfer the formulation to them. And there'll be news coming out on that in the near future, as well as we continue to develop the spray. And then the third project is to coat catheters. McMaster has been able to show in early studies that if you coat the plastic that catheters are made of with our nanotechnology, they can prevent bacteria as well as blood from sticking to the surface. And as you probably know, those are the two bacterial biofilms, and blood clots are the two culprits that cause catheter blockage, which can be a real problem and can be costly to the medical system. So we're very interested in moving that project forward, and I suspect you'll hear more news about that as we move forward into the end of the year and into next year as well. So those are just a few things, as well as our external exploration of licensing or acquisition opportunities. As I said before, I'm an M&A licensing person. I know that if you're going to grow a company, you can't just do it internally. So we are actively looking and reviewing potential in licensing opportunities and acquisitions.
Excellent wisdom and advice shared with you here today on Investor News. And for more information on FendX Technologies, please go to the following website. Carolyn, as always, it's such a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.